Yes, I mean, should we start? It's officially starting in 7 minutes approximately. So I have just a few slides to get the main numbers for you. I have one slide on IAB Hungary. Basically, I'm representing them as a board member. I try to be fast. It's a 2-year-old organization. We cover most of the Hungarian markets. We are really proud that we have all the working groups that are presented in IAB Europe. So we have working groups dedicated to targeting, video, all the issues that are mentioned. I'm a bit ashamed that we are still a voluntary organization, so basically most of the job is done by the board members on a voluntary basis, but we really want to step forward and hire a person dedicated to our cause. IAB is dealing mostly with publishing numbers for the industry. We are submitting the ad expenditure study yearly. It's part of the European ADEX. Of course, as you might heard several occasions, we try to push the Hungarian government that we should be an opt-out regime instead of an opt-in regime. So we are working closely with IAB Europe to push our government to represent and implement the e-privacy directive in a how can I say, in a not industry-killing way. What we do, as we are not yet staffed, that we deliver most of the IAB Europe content to our markets, let them be research or numbers or events. Of course, we do industry lobbying, as with most of the IABs, our goal is to increase the online ad spend. And we do the usual things, like we are at the Hungarian events, we are giving away these one-pagers, and we organize networking events for our members. And hopefully in the future we'll be able to work more close with Plamen, that we can encourage the CE network. So with the local IABs, we should try to get together and share value that we have. I will upload these slides and be available. So if you need any of these specific numbers, I can share them. Basically, Hungary's online ad share was 14% in 2009. Actually, I will have it later in euros, but it's 23.3 billion Hungarian forints. 1 euro is something like 280 forints this year. We have the online ad spend distribution. So as you see, it's quite usual in all the markets that the search is growing, the display is a bit decreasing. I would say it's not a lot of interesting happening on or special happening on in Hungary. We follow the trends in the area. What I expected, the display should grow a bit back because of the whole brand advertising movement or debate. I think the search will be a bit, stagnating or remaining the same. As IAB Hungary, Google Hungary is our board member, so even though they don't release exact numbers, but they can confirm our expectations with blinks and facial expressions. So I would say that this 26% is quite an accurate and usable number. Here you have, again, in billion Hungarian forints. So if you divide those billions by 280, then you will have the total ad spend. As you can see, besides movie advertising, internet was the only one who could grow a bit last year. I think, again, except Poland, that's quite a usual figure in our region. Was not hit that hard as Romania was, in a sense of global ad spend decrease. But we are really proud that we could increase our online ad spend. Of course, as IB Hungary, we are trying not to communicate that, ha ha ha, we gained and you lost, but of course, we would like to influence all the players to keep on increasing their online ad spend. Again, I wrote the usual slides, online penetration for the internet users who are using internet often is 55%. Again, it's quite similar in the region. The broadband penetration is, again, quite high, so we have, sorry for the slides being Hungarian in some places, but what we have it is dial-up, DSL and cable and other. Actually, I don't have slides with the numbers regarding the mobile internet, but we have more than 100% of mobile penetration, so and people are really starting to use, how can I say, subscribing to the data plans, and it's getting really popular in Hungary to use the phones. We have a really high number of iPads and iPhones. I don't know what's the real reason behind, but we have amongst the smartphones something like 10% of iPads. That's usually when this number is coming up, then everybody's like, wow, I don't know the other markets, but it's growing fast. Most of the local players are preparing applications, the big publishers. These are the most visited websites in Hungary. I don't know whether it's good or bad that we have in the top 3 international companies. Google is the only search engine that is on the market. There are some startups that implementing Hungarian search algorithms, a bit like Yandex in Russia, but still they are not competitive. Somehow they are not able to go on. eViv, as we call it, is who is who. It's the Nasha class of Hungary or the local social portal. I didn't put it in the beginning, but Hungary has 10 million inhabitants, and out of that 4.5 million are online. Basically, most of the online people are on our social network, but Facebook is growing fast, so they will take over the lead in 6 months, I would say. Actually, eViv is part of the Deutsche Telekom subsidiary group that is represented by Freemail and Origo. I will get back to them. I guess all of you know Facebook. Startlap is a home page, basically. It's a directory, it's a listing where you can where people are managing these start pages by topics. It's part of the Sanoma portfolio. Freemail, again, it's a Gmail competitor in Hungary, such as blog.hu is a Blogger or WordPress competitor. Windows Live is getting stronger and stronger. Basically, in the Hungarian market, as far as I know, Hotmail is not that strong, but Windows Live Messenger, MSN Messenger, is quite powerful and quite popular amongst young people. So there are a lot of young people-oriented campaigns running through them. They are always coming up with avatar campaign and those things that are successful. Blogger, I'm sure you know. Origo is the biggest vertical portal we have. It's again owned by Deutsche Telekom's Hungarian subsidiary. Wikipedia is popular. Vatera is, as far as I know, they are part of the Allegro network. It's an eBay-like website. Index is our second biggest portal. These are vertical portals. Port.hu should be quite well known in the region. It's originally a Hungarian company, and now, as far as I know, they are represented in Romania, Slovakia, Serbia, so all around the CE countries, they are doing well. Their main revenue income is gathering and selling theater, TV, and cultural event database. Microsoft is there. Nőklapja Café is a female portal owned by Sanoma as well. MyVIP is again a local social network targeted on young people. Hotdog is similar, and so on and so forth. Video is again a Hungarian YouTube clone. Here you can see the numbers. Basically, we don't really have ad networks by definition. We have sales houses that are either owning or mixed owning and contracted media. I just took the details for the average daily impressions for August. I could have the ad incomes in euros for 2009, and I gathered the reach. These are only the Hungarian sales houses, ad networks, and big publishers. But you can see that the leader in this field is Origo Ad House, who are the Deutsche Telekom subsidiary. They are, out of the 4.5 million, they're reaching 3.5 million. This is an interesting new study I just get hold on to. It's a trend that unique visitors are spending more and more time on the bigger site. So I would say that as the market is maturing, people start to value quality information. And of course, the big players are starting to learn how to serve their audience. So again, this is the mantra all around the conference, is that CT is not the best measure to sell campaigns. So dwell or online GRP or however you name it, time-based and demographic-based approach is better. And if you check the top 5, that it's growing, and we believe that it will grow again. Again, it's an interesting question, but how much the drive of it is Facebook and the foreign companies. We'll see. These are slides on statistics, how many, what is the frequency of the usage of internet. If anyone is interested in these details, I would say it's quite typical in the region. We don't really have, at least by my knowledge, it's similar, so not a lot to mention. Again, if anybody would like to have the numbers, just mail me and I will send this slide. Again, I would say the same with Poland. We have quite educated and diverse internet population. I would say that's part of the market maturing. So it used to be young people or early adopters who were on the internet years ago, but now it's representing the whole society as well. Of course, if we are selling our medium, we say that who can afford a computer and who has the knowledge to turn it on and use a browser, it's usually a better educated and, how can I say, better situated person. Again, it's the status groups. It's just I try to underline what I said, that those who are frequently using the internet, they are usually AB status people, so it's the better situated people are overrepresented on the internet, at least on the Hungarian internet. And that's it. This might be interesting for some of you. These are the figures, rate cards-based figures from TNS, that who are the biggest spenders in Hungary. The numbers are, again, rate card and only display advertising from 2009. And as you see, it's telco, it's finance and insurance, and we have some utility companies are there, but Procter & Gamble is only the 9th there. So we have a lot of work as an IAB to encourage our members and advertisers to spend brand advertising, to use internet for a medium for brand advertising. We really see a big potential. As an IAB, we try to educate the advertisers, educate the whole industry, for them to see what's the benefits of spending online. Again, that's the time coming, and basically what we see that we are quite following the trends. I really didn't want to bore you with more numbers, but if you have any specific questions, then I'm trying to answer them here, but if I don't have the necessary information, I will send you via email. You have all my data there. If you approach me, I can give you a card as well. What I didn't mention that when I'm not doing IAB or Webit ambassadorship, which is a really new thing for me, then I'm head of development at a local ad serving company. If you are interested in ad serving or technology, I'm a lot more educated and experienced on that field. But ask me anything if you are curious of our beautiful market, please.
I have a question about your local social network. How was it called?
It's Who is Who, and it's rebranded itself to iViv.
iViv, yeah. How many users registered?
As far as I know, we have something like almost 80% of the total internet population, meaning 3.5, 4 million, somewhere there. So it's basically has a huge reach. I can show it, but it's a bit less developed than Facebook. They are tagging behind Facebook, so they are the main argument against Who is Who was that they are basically a phone book. They launched a bit before Facebook. It was a really interesting experiment of a Hungarian university student just to be able to show his friend's social atom kind of thing. So when it started, it didn't have any branding, so you typed in the IP address, and it was really cool that time. But then Deutsche Telekom purchased the company, and somehow bigger company, less innovation, it stuck a bit, and now I use it because my village side relatives are on there, and I have their contact numbers there. So it's basically a phone book now.
But it's a subsidiary of Origo, I think. Yeah.
Yes. It's owned by Origo.
And do you know about applications in?
Sorry?
In the social network, are there many apps in the social network, like apps for Facebook, for example?
As far as I can tell, Facebook is taking over, clearly, the Hungarian market. So it's interesting because iViv is not losing market share. So I didn't delete my account there, but I check it out, I don't know, once or twice weekly while I'm on Facebook or LinkedIn. So they are losing share. And of course, as with most of the social networks, they had issues having a huge inventory, but they had hard time to monetize it. So it was cool and everything, but not a lot of money came in. So I don't know whether I answered your question.
Yeah, yes, I have one more question. About, what?
Who is asking?
Metodi Chukovsky is my name, from Bulgarian, from Access Software. I want to ask you about Are there any local search engines like Google or
Yes,
Google is the...
we do have 3 tiny search engines that they are really innovative and really new, but simply they cannot grow that size that somebody mostly from Western Europe or North America would invest in them. So we have search engines, but basically nobody uses them. So the big portals, all of them are using either their CMS's search engine or Google. So no, we don't have, I would say Google's coverage is 99.9 as in most of the countries.
Thank you.
So I have one more question. Christian. So what's your future, what's your general opinion on Hungarian ad market and its future predictions? Thank you.
General opinion, I would say it's growing. So next year we try to be 16% of the global ad spend. So it's growth. We try to reach 20% and be the second biggest regarding the, so we should be after TV, getting ahead of press. Actually, we are, if you divide press or printed press to magazines and newspapers, we are the third. But of course, the market will grow. What I cannot predict is how we will deal with the international players, because Google is doing quite fine, Facebook is doing quite fine, so I don't know whether the local players will be able to fight them, so to have some revenue in the country. And again, local services. I'm an ad serving from one hand. I don't know if Google comes and offers DFP for free, I might not be able to compete on the long term. And that's the same with social network platforms. That's the same with almost everything that is not content, because we are speaking one of the most beautiful language on this planet, and that's how it's a kind of barrier to enter Hungary. But we just talked with some of the presenters that a few years ago, service companies had something like a window of 1 year. So if MySpace rolled out with a feature, you had something like a year to localize it. Now, if there's a great idea, you don't have any time. Come on, it's in Hungarian on the second day of its appearance. So that's the big question in my head, that as an IAB, what should we do? Should we protect the markets and make it hard for Google to operate on the market? It's quite unlikely that we can
Like some law protection, or how?
Sorry?
Which one? How you want to protect that market?
I mean, first, as an IAB, I might not promote Google that much. I might promote the national services. On the European level, as it happened with Microsoft, for Microsoft it was not that easy to enter the European market because of antitrust regulations. So basically, I would say both on a European level and Hungarian state level, we can make their things a bit harder. So that's my personal opinion, being interested in ad serving, that if Google is coming and offering a service for free that is normally not free, then it's not a nice business practice. So I can go to my court and say that, come on, you are ruining an industry with this behavior. So as an IAB, we can give voice to it. And I don't know, it's really, the future will tell. We try to empower local players. Of course, as IAB, we try to cooperate with Yahoo, with Google, just to exchange information, just to exchange numbers, just to inform the market. And then maybe, hopefully, we can do a win-win situation. So Hungarian smaller players can focus on content, on niches, and then it will be a good business. I mean, if you build up on Google or Google builds up on your small system, that's the future I see.
Yes, but there is a risk that if you stay alone, Google will eat your industry, and it became the biggest player, which is already.
I think that's not a Hungary-specific thing. I don't know the exact numbers, but I believe if Google wants to buy Budapest, including my flat, he can do it.
Oh, come on, don't sell it, it's in Budapest. It's the best part.
Yes, but you know, money speaks. I can move to village side. So, and then what do? Come on, every street will have Google name. I mean, Google something or anything. So it's a hard debate. I would say it's cooperation, understanding the market, educating the local consumers and providers. What's the benefits and what are the risks of overpowering Google or Facebook? That's what I see. I'm not the smartest visionary on this matter, but...
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Andre, my name is Plummer. Tell me, what is Google doing for the market there locally in terms of educating the market, some local services like account management? Is there a policy of Google towards the market, or it's just generic growth?
No, we have a Google Hungary, and I would say that they're doing a great job in promoting the industry. I mean, we were, as an ad server company, of course, we can do retargeting or remarketing, however you name it. It's the post-action targeting. And we were there in the market. We were like showing our, banners at festivals, conferences, and all those things, and spreading one-pagers to the industry. And then Google came with this remarketing idea. Wow, and the whole industry as one stood up and called us, do you have this? Do you have this? So they are educating. They have a quite good blog. They have the AdSense, this Google advertiser program going there and working. So they are doing well. They have, as far as I know, 3 or 4 people in Hungary. So they're doing great, and they support the local events. They are a member of the IAB, for example. They try to help with their own power to be able to publish numbers. So I couldn't blame them that they are not collaborating. Just again, you have a big player, you have rest of the industry, and I think IAB is an interface where we can approach them and ask them questions.
I didn't hear anything, Rosita from Makedonski Telekom. I didn't hear anything about mobile applications. And is it being developed locally in Hungary? And if it's done, who is pushing it? Smaller players or bigger players on the market?
Smaller players, definitely. So we have some studios or small companies who are making a great deal of money on Android marketplace and iTunes. Of course, now I briefly mentioned that, for example, Sanoma is coming out with an iPad reader application that can show ads dynamically served in the application. But I'm not an expert of the field, but we have a lot of Hungarian-originated applications, but I would say not mostly for the Hungarian market. So the big dream of these small creative studios is to launch an application, upload it to either iTunes or Android market, and then if it's a success, there are some stories that, wow, in guys who are, just programming before some stupid web applications got like, I don't know, several $10,000 a day because their application just got popular or trendy or fun or I don't know. So, but I would say it's rather a grassroots origin. So, and yes, that's an interesting debate. We talked with the head of Polish IAB that the big players, the media sees a really kind of a continuation of their business in iPads or the tablets in general. So they are really interested. That's a bit closer model than this strange internet where everything is free or you can get it. That's where there are several good models for printed papers to appear on tablets. So I would say they are pushing these applications, but it's not revenue from selling the application, but revenue from selling content. So, and again, we have this Deutsche Telekom group, who are T-Mobile in Hungary, who are Telekom in Hungary, which is the DSL and landline service, and they have content as well in form of Origo. They have a mobile content provider. So they are really the ones who are pushing this three-screen initiative. So they have, that's what I forgot, they have IPTV as well. So IPTV, mobile, and internet. So of course, if you want to appear on mobile, you have to provide supporting applications. So thank you very much for your attention. And if you need any number, I think I have access to them, so feel free to mail me or anything. I'm happy to give it away. And I don't have internet.